Coffee is gone. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Today is episode 130. We will be planning July projects. It's 8 million degrees out here today. I am wearing the worsted weight worsted knit crop top from Cascade 220 in forest green. What's the news today? Oh, Stephen West released the 6th and final pattern in his Westknits Petknits Volume 1, which is the faded rib pup sweater that I believe is DK weight. And I was just thinking, literally just thinking, because like the last few weeks I've been saying we were thinking about getting a puppy, and then I was like, well, that means this fall, no pup sweaters. And now, if you saw the reason that my video was late releasing last week is because we got a dog. And I'm trying to think of where I left you off in the story. Oh, the person that had puppies that I was going to meet. Yeah, we went and met. They were not Chihuahuas. This man handed me an 8-pound dog and tried to, I think it was more of like a 10-pound dog, and tried to tell me it was a 16-week Chihuahua puppy and its ears were straight up. It had like corgi ears, so some sort of terrier. And I was like, yeah, this is not a Chihuahua. I don't know what this is, but it's not a Chihuahua. So needless to say, we walked away. I had a couple more leads, but I got to tell you, the breeders are even worse than the rescue people, because the breeders never put everything you want to know in the ad, okay? I want to know date of birth. I want to know its last weigh-in and what age it was. Like, they weighed this at 12 weeks, or wow, 12 weeks, you should already have the puppy or be ready to pick up the puppy. So at like, say 6 weeks, the dog weighed this, and then you can say it's charting to be this, but I'm going to check the charting anyway and see what it's actually charting. I like to know that the parents are full cheese or not, and how much they weigh. I want to know if the dog is going to see a vet, because I have issues with like heart murmurs and other things that that they're going to check, breathing, heart, stuff like that. I want to know their vaccine schedule. These are normal things that you would want to, like, I had a whole list of for each dog that I was seeing, I had like columns, Stop it right now. And, well, the last guy that we went to see lied to me about everything, told me the dad was 7 pounds and the mom was 5 pounds. And that to me was suspect, because if you are a good Chihuahua breeder, the dam is always bigger than the sire, just because she's the one having the puppies. The mom is always the bigger of the two, if they're not the same size. So that bothered me a little bit. But he was full of crap anyway. I can't believe we drove like 30 minutes for that. Then I saw some merles. There was a chocolate merle I really, really was interested in. But these, I swear to God, these breeders will flat out ghost you. Like, I messaged one lady. And typically, the dogs are available unless the ad has been taken down. So, because they're all internet ads. So once the dog, like, you could even go and say pending, so that you go back and see if it's gone or if it's come off pending. So, A lot of people want to be messaged first, which is fine. I don't mind. So I message saying I'm interested in this puppy and I'd like to schedule a phone call so I can ask some more questions. And this one lady was like, just real vague about, well, I might not have her tomorrow or so. Like, it was real weird. And I was like, okay, well, if you still have her tomorrow, could we schedule a time to call? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, nix that person. Like, they're just rude or they're very bad salesmen. And then another person, that was not a Merle, but the Merle I was messaging, I called and the phone hung up on me. And I was like, okay. So then I messaged them, texted the phone, and I said, I said my name, I was interested in this puppy, and if you don't know, your phone just goes, just disconnects after it rings a couple times. Just because then, even if they didn't want to reply to me, they would know why they were not getting any messages or anything for this dog. So they messaged me later and they were like, oh, sorry, I'm at work. And I was like, could you send, because there's only one picture. I'm like, could you send me a couple pictures when you're off work? And they were like, yeah, sure. And so when I was waiting for them to send me pictures, and then I was going to say, can we, set up a phone call at your convenience? Obviously, I said I'm interested in this puppy. So I had already said that I was interested in the puppy. And then when she said she was at work, I didn't want to bother her. So I said, when you get off work, could you send me a couple pictures? And then I had planned on asking for a phone call once she, because I didn't want to bother her at work. So I figured once she sent me a couple pictures, then I could ask for a phone call, and then she wouldn't be at work and she could schedule me around her work. Well, she never got back to me that day, or the next day. So those were the last two, because I had called all the other ones and ruled them out. One lady, it was an hour and a half away, and one lady had one left. It was a boy, black and tan. And she said, it was weird. First of all, she didn't want to talk on the phone. She wanted to go through text. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to take me a fucking hour to ask the 4 questions I have to ask. So we get around to it, and the dog has not been seen by a vet. The dog's older, not much older, but 12 weeks. And she said it was 8 weeks, so that's an extra month. Why didn't anyone take this dog? Because in Ohio, you can give dogs at 8 weeks. Then she said, well, the reason she doesn't take it to the vet is because she has over 20 years experience breeding Chihuahuas. And I went, yeah, that's great. But if you don't have a stethoscope or the proper training, you're not going to know if there's any type of heart or lung issue, which you can tell right off the bat. And I didn't say that to her. I was just like, okay, so they don't get a vet visit. So she's like, no, I have 20 years experience. It's like, okay. And then I was like, so he's 12 weeks old. And I'm like, what's his vaccine schedule? How many vaccines? Oh, he's had 1. And at 12 weeks, he should have 2. And I'm like, why hasn't? And then she's like, oh, I do my own vaccines. And I'm like, well, then I don't trust you, because at 12 weeks, you should have at least 2 vaccines. So needless to say, I passed on that one. And then on Thursday, whatever day it was, because that Wednesday after we recorded, we went and saw the puppies that were not Chihuahuas, and then everything else happened in the next few days. So then on Thursday night, I got the email that we were approved for this guy. And I had checked earlier I think it was Thursday during the day. My best friend sent me a link to him, which is weird because I get up at 9 o'clock and the first thing I do is check Pet Finder. And then I check the dog breeders, or the Chihuahua puppies from breeders. And he was not there at 9 o'clock. But then my friend sent me the link, and I was like, this dog was not there this morning when I went up. So anyway, I put in the application for the dog, and then they emailed me and they're like, your house isn't showing up in the county records. And I'm like, why are you looking up my house in the county records? This is so invasive. And then they asked me the same question. How come only one of your dogs is getting heartworm prevention from the vet? I'm like, because we don't buy it at the vet. Same crap. Anyway, Thursday night, real late, like just before midnight, I got the email that we were approved for him. So I took Lola in to see him that day. And we were there for 2 hours. I was sitting on the floor. He fell asleep in my lap. He really liked Lola. He came right over to us and greeted us. I had my husband just take him inside just literally now because he seemed to be overheating, and I didn't like how his breathing was looking. But the other two dogs are fine. Lola's fine and Chiquito is fine. They're not overheating. So Rippy has something on her leg that we're taking her in to see tomorrow. It is a hard, like, walnut golf ball sized thing on the top of her front leg, right front leg. So we're taking her in tomorrow to see. I'm hoping it's nothing bad because, you know, we just lost Deckard a couple months ago. So don't need to do that twice in the same year, please. Anyway, at the end of the show, if the new dog is feeling better, I will bring him out and show him to you. However, I will tell you his name. We named him Chief Martin Brody. And part of me wants to tell you what that name is, and the other part of me wants to know if you're a big a nerd as me and you might know what that name is. So if you do know and you want to guess in the comments, and I just keep trying to get you guys to give me comments. You can either say well, if you just Google it, you're going to know. Or if you want to tell me what a big fan you are, you have to give me a quote. Is there anything else I had to tell you? I told you about Stephen West. I told you what I'm wearing. I told you. Anyway. Okay, so bad news. I had to restart the entire thing again. So I redid it and I didn't like the numbers. What I really didn't like is when I joined all 3 pieces in the round, I cast on 3 stitches under the arm so that we wouldn't have all of these knit stitches together, but I don't care now. Or I might, I want to join them just together because it pulls the back of the back here, pulls it out. Because this wants to shrink in, right? It wants to shrink in. But if this is up here and this comes around, it'll pull this out a little bit, which will help with the blocking. It'll pull it out a little bit. So I have done 57 stitches on the back. I'm doing 57 stitches on the front, which is 114. So I could add 2 more if I wanted to because my tops are 112. So we're already bigger than my tops, and I know in cotton the tops are even bigger, so it shouldn't be a problem. Plus the crossover in the top is going to make it so much less. It's going to make it even bigger with the wrap over top. So I think I have the math figured out on this, maybe. And the really cool thing that I did, because I'm such a nerd, you might appreciate this. So remember when I told you if I had the back pieces worked and I knew the weights of them, that I could then figure out, right? So I did all of that, and then I estimated. Okay, here it is. Where's where it came out though? I think it's one past this? Yes, one past this. Okay, so I estimated. I took my back pieces, the number of stitches times the rows, and got the number of stitches in here. And then that gave, so this had 35, wait, I think it works better from over here, right? So 3,528 stitches was 3402 grams. And 51 by 68, so this is the original pattern. 51 by 68 gave me 3468, which used up less, 29.78 grams, which is what I said. This pattern is using too much yarn. So that's 4 something grams. So I estimated the new size, which was 57 stitches at 68 rows, which is 3876. And by using this measurement, I estimated 3327 grams we would use. And then I even went up a size bigger, the original size, and that was going to be 42. And that still would have only taken 3677 grams. So I was like, this is not a problem for me. So my estimate was 3327. My actual was 32.4. That's in 1 gram. I was within 1 gram with my estimation. So the back part took 32.4, which is fine because it's less than the original took in the green version. That is 2 pattern, okay? The bigger, that came out huge. So we're still using less for that. I just finished that one, blocked it last night, and then started on the right front part here. So what I'm doing here is to keep it from getting too big, because I only need to overlap four stripes. So that's 12 stitches. 4 times 3 is 12. So we're going to overlap 12 stitches. So what I did is, instead of increasing every single time, I'm increasing every other time until we get to the 9 inches this calls for, and then we're going to rapidly increase for an extra 10 after, because once we join for the arm, I have like another inch or so before I come to the bottom of my bust, which is where I want the crossover to happen, right there. Okay? Because I could use that little bit of liftage. So 9 inches down for armhole. Then I'll work all 3 for those last inch. I have it worked all out on paper. I'm actually going row by row and doing stitch counts and everything. So this will be the back part, which I did block, but it doesn't seem to really matter. I'm going to have to pin it out when I actually block it. So I don't want it to go the entire way to my shoulder. Also, this is like my front, not my back. My back and the front are not the same size. So see, this can block out to right where it needs to be. Totally fine. So I'm still going on that. Still going. I also am still counting the bamboo pop sock hat as a whip, but again, I haven't worked on it this week because all I've been doing is this dealing with dogs, going to see dogs, all this other crap, finding Rippy's tumor thing on her, and I don't want to say tumor, I don't know what it is. I'm real worried about it though. So, oh my god, I forgot I have this here. Oh, so much better. Okay. So I keep forgetting that I have a spray bottle there all the time. It just like immediately just immediately cools. Oh crap. I got my notes in there in pen. Okay, so let's go ahead to planning July. Obviously, I'm going to continue with the tops, the rib tops. I haven't decided if I want to just keep, because once the pattern's set, they're going to work up really quick. Maybe 4 days, maybe. I think less than that. So I was thinking, there are some other things I also want to do. One of them is, like I've been saying, with this, scapiers. Oh, remember? Scapiers. Callista? I don't know. This is the double gas. Double gassed means something with fire, and it's not supposed to, oh my God, what's the word? Pill. It's not supposed to pill so much. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway, I got these in a couple colors. I got these at my LYS. They were like $3. So I'm going to make crop tops out of these. Cotton, because it's so freaking hot. Do you want to make... I actually might make one soon. If I finish one of these rib tops, I'm going to celebrate by making one of these. But I have black, gray, burgundy. I think I got like 3 different colors. I don't know how many colors I got, but a couple. They're also, so I have a bunch of those to make. There's also 2 other things I wanted. I feel like this month is completely stupid because we didn't get anything done that I wanted to get last month. Liked the Ribbed to Your Measure by Lacey Williamson. Remember this? $7 US. I already have picked Tina's Twisted Fibers in Gray Heart. This is 100% superwash merino fingering, 490 yards. So this is more yardage, so I thought we'd get a longer one. Really, I want this to sleep in. I want this to sleep in so bad. I also want it as a layering piece, like a bra almost under, but more than a bra. Do you know what I mean? Like a nip cover, more likely. And I love this color. I think it's almost like more flesh toned. It like it won't. Well, maybe the red will show through, but it doesn't matter. Now, what I liked about this is that the pattern is, come back. The pattern is bottom up or top down. You know me, I love a top down. I'm also thinking if I did this, I might get better at the top down than I'm trying to do. So I was thinking of actually at least buying that and looking at it before. I should probably do that right now, actually. But I'm wondering if she adds on under, you know, because I don't want to add on under. It doesn't matter. But anyway. See, part of me is like, I'd rather have it be my own design than see what somebody else did. But what if what she did totally works? Then I'm just being stupid. And it's not like it's an original idea. You know what I mean? Because whether or not you join or add stitches, that's not a novel idea. Do you know what I mean? That's not a novel idea at all. So, Rib to Your Measure, the other one that I just saw. Is called Summer Sun. €6. This is also it has a tie back and then just like a halter. It's just a halter, but the front is this cool V-neck and then a V I thought that would be cute. Yeah, €6. This is, I think, one skein of fingering. Choose singles. I will not be using singles. What I have here is this is from Haute Knit Yarn, and I believe this is Prism, but this was bought a couple years ago before she changed. She reworks how she does her colors now. So your Prism is not going to look like this, and good for you because the Prism looks better now, but I got this one. And so I figured there's some brown in it and some orange, which I don't like because I don't see that in the new one. Not the degree of brown that is in mine. There's really a lot of brown, orange, and just these disgusting colors that I don't like, poopy colors I don't like. But then there's some cool stuff. So I figured if I did this out of it, I wouldn't be bothered if I don't want to wear it or whatever. It would not be a problem. I mean, other than it's a rather expensive skein yarn, but I don't have anything else planned for this at all. And so I kind of like to, if I'm not 100% I'm going to wear it, I'd rather not use something I know I really would like. Do you know what I mean? Because if it works and I wear it, what the yarn looks like won't stop me from wearing it if I like wearing it. Does that make sense? And then I'll just want to make more. However, those are both fingering weight, and you know how I am with fingering weight. I don't like to do too many fingering weight projects. So it's already like June, so I didn't do any tops. I didn't get any tops done. Like I could have done one of those. I could have done the rib tier measure at some point, but then I wouldn't have made the progress that I made on the tops. On the other tops. So then if I get the gray one done, I'll take this one apart and we'll remake it in the mint green. So soft. Oh my god, so soft. So yeah, I will probably finish that because we have another week, right? So I'm sure I'll finish the rib top within the week. Actually, I'll probably finish both fronts tonight, and then tomorrow I will do the crossover because I'm not entirely sure how I wanted to do that, because I wanted the right side to cross in front, but it doesn't matter if the left side, it really does not matter at all. So I don't know why I was stuck, but then that is going to tell me if I'm going to join on the first right side when we begin the right side, or if we're going to do the right side and then join at the end of that right side row before we join in the round, do the crossover and join the round. Not 100%. And I feel like if this join doesn't work, I might just go up and make it a V-neck, but I really don't want to make it a V-neck. I want to make it, but if this crossover doesn't work, I'll just make the V-neck, and it'll just have to be a V-neck, I guess. I don't know. So, Summer Sun. Oh, I didn't say that was by Julie Knits in Paris, and the rib tier measure is by Lacey Williamson. Both of them are going to be linked below. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I really like the V-neck with the V at the bottom, but the rib tier measure, I think it is great for layering, and I want to sleep in it real bad because I have trouble finding stuff I can sleep in that I don't fall out of. That's also comfortable. So July will be the mint rib tank, one of those fingering tops, and a crop top, or a couple crop tops, and then maybe another rib tank. I think I'm just putting the hat on hold because I'm not going to wear a hat now anyway, and I just don't have the time. Okay, I guess that's it for knitting. I can't think of anything else I have to give you that's going to take up 20 minutes. I could go on a rant like I did the other day. I swear to God, I pulled out so much time me ranting about. What was I ranting about? I don't recall. But it was probably something legal in the news. And we all know what's been happening legally in the U.S. news. Anyway, it's stupid. Like, the news goes so fast over here that, like, by the time I'm talking to you about it here Wednesday, like today, the big news is still that submarine that's gone missing. With the billionaire on it or whatever. So by Friday, that's going to be old news. They're either going to find it or they're not, right? So have you heard this about the orcas attacking yachts? I haven't looked at it. I've just seen a headline here or there and some jokes about it. But I think it's hilarious. And orcas scare the crap out of me. I think I'm more scared of those than I am sharks because I feel like sharks, again, relevant to our conversation, if you realize what we talked about earlier. Sharks. I feel like sharks really get a bad rap, and I feel like they're not mean, and I feel like they're really just curious puppies that don't know they're big and scary, right? So, but I think orcas are purposefully jerks and murderers. And I think they're terrifying. So I'm just saying, I don't go in the water because I watch Shark Week. I don't go in the water. Sharks live there. That's literally where they live. Also, alligators, crocodiles. I don't go in rivers. I don't go in any water. No. Nope. No. I do not wish to be eaten by anything. No, thank you. So anyway, we will still be talking about orcas destroying yachts, which is hilarious to me. Like, you're always waiting for someone to be Batman, right? You're always waiting for some billionaire to come out and be Batman and actually do something. And then here are the orcas. Who knew orcas were going to be our Batman? I don't know. Anyway. Oh. Last week I told you how I think I felted my 5 of my Vitellana Lofty crop tops. I washed them because with all my cotton, I didn't even think about it because I was like, oh, these are cotton. No, they're also merino and alpaca. So they felted. I can't even get them over my head. And I'm so mad because that yarn is discontinued. Discontinued. It's gone forever. And I only need like 50 grams. I'm so pissed. Anyway, I have 2 colors left that have not been worked. And I'm wondering if instead of making them, because I still have all of those 5 colors in the full version of the top. So I have 2 more colors that can get a full version and a cropped version, and that is like a pale. It says spray rose, but it's not a pink at all. It's like a pale, almost salmon, maybe pinky peach, and then this bright or bright yellow. I bought all 3 of them because I love the base so much. It's my favorite base. So this is back before I knew they were going under. Otherwise, I would have bought more. If they had announced anything, I would have bought more. So I'm trying to figure out if I should just take those last 2 colors and make just crops. Or if, like, I really like the purple and I really like the blue, The red and the green are cool too, but that tiger lily orange, I was thinking now I could take the full version apart, make crops, dye in black, see what happens. And in order to not felt them, what I would do is soak them in a like not cold, room temp dye bath with black. Okay, now remember, part of this is cotton, and that cotton is not going to take up the black dye because we're acid dyeing. Acid dyeing does not work on cellulose fibers. So I was thinking, since odds are I'm never going to wear that tiger lily, probably ever. It's orange. If I have a yellow, I'm more likely to wear yellow than orange. So I was thinking I'll make the orange in both. I'll make the cropped in the, I'll make cropped in the yellow and a full version of the yellow, and then I'll take the full tiger lily color, make that into, I could probably get two crops, and then dye those black. I was also thinking for the spray rose, that's a weird salmon color. I was thinking I will make one cropped, wear it, see how I like the color, and then decide if I want a full version or a not version, because that means I'll have the yellow, the two tiger lilies that I'm going to dye black, at least attempt to dye black. Do you think I should leave them? Maybe I'll just leave them. I don't know. And then the spray rose, I'll make one cropped, so then we'll have 4 cropped, and then I could either make like 2 more crops, 6 crops. So out of colors I wouldn't wear. So like the purple, the blue, the green, and the red are just gone. They are gone forever. I have them soaking in a bunch of cool water with hair conditioner in it. I don't think that's going to work. I don't have a lot of cheap conditioner to throw at it, so I might have to pick some up at the store tomorrow and try again. But I've not heard of that working all that well, and they are really, really like short and tight to get around. I tried to even stretch the straps. I could not. I was like, you're kidding. I'm so mad because they are my favorite crop tops, favorite ones. I'm so mad about it. I've never unintentionally felted anything in my life. I'm so mad. I just was not thinking. I knew better, and I just was not thinking because of everything that was happening. So anyway, we have a dog now. What can I tell you about him? Chief Brody, because I'm either going to call him Brody or I'm going to call him Chief. He's like a conglomeration of a bunch of dogs that we've had. Like, do you remember my vampire? I don't know if you remember my vampire dog. That might have been before the show. He's black and tan, just full black and tan. He's it's not really tan. It's kind of like a blonde and a black and blonde, which I've never seen. But in the markings of a black and tan. But it's a real light tan. It's not a reddish tan. It's a real light tan. He's at least little eyebrows right here. It's really, really cute. He reminds me of my vampire dog. That was a min pin. The dog had fangs. He'd sit there looking at you, and he'd have 2 fangs sitting out. So I called him Dracula. He got adopted. And then he reminds me of my one of my first chihuahuas, Kino. He commando crawls on the floor like Kino did. And he's very, very friendly. Very friendly to dogs and animals. I took him to the pet store because when we first got him, we had to get a harness for him. We didn't have anything, and the rescue didn't. Well, she would have given us one, but I said, don't worry, it's on the way home. And I don't like to take resources from other rescues because I know how much that adds up when you got to add a harness to every dog that leaves. And he had one on earlier, and I didn't think about bringing one. I don't know why. I brought a leash, but it didn't dawn on me to bring one. And I didn't know what size he was, so I would have just brought Lola's anyway. But so we stopped and got him a better food to mix, to slowly get him on a better quality food. Nope. He did not eat any of that food. If I gave it to him, he would spit it out. It was hilarious. So fine. So yesterday I went back to get him the food he wanted. I'm like, fine. Let him eat it. If he's eating, then we'll try again later, or maybe he'll get tired of it and want to change. I don't know. So he sees other dogs and he gets really excited and wants to go meet them and thinks they're his friend. And if you remember me telling you, Deckard loved people and animals, and he would scream at the top of his lungs like huskies do. He would just scream like that. We never had to wait anywhere. Like at the vet office, he'd just start screaming and they would put us right back in our room. It was so funny. So we were walking the aisles. I think I had him on the floor at that point. And there's this little puppy, not a puppy, but a small dog on the floor. And he just started like whining and wanting to go over to the puppy, and he's a little wiggle butt. And he has a curly tail like a pug. So he was like wiggle butting and crying to get to this dog. And I was like, that's not your friend. We can't go see the friend. And then every person, he just wants to go up to him. And the people that wanted to pet, I let anyone pet my dogs because I think it's a great way to get them socialized, and I'm not worried that my dog, if a dog will go to you, like Deckard was a dog that would leave with anyone. He would leave with the text and not even look back at you. He would just leave. He would leave with anybody. It did not matter. And I feel like there's a fine line between safety, and I'd rather have my dog safe, as in not euthanized for being vicious, for biting someone, than have them kidnapped. I'd much rather that be a situation than having them euthanized. You know what I mean? So I don't like them taking food from people because I don't know what people are going to offer my dogs, but some of them are just going to take it anyway. That's a harder one to break. But for the people that did see him at the store that wanted to pet him, he went right up to them, put his paws up on their legs, stood up and put his paws on the legs and let them pet him, just was super happy. So it's nice to have a dog like that, like Deckard was like that. Then he comes here, he's running all around the backyard. He almost got out by the fence. He jumped five boards, because we have side fences, because this fence goes all the way around, but it doesn't connect because it's open at the driveway. So over here between the house and the chain link fence, we have boarded up like a ranch, I guess, but then the bottom's boarded up, so there's 5 boards. I don't know how thick the boards are. And he got right up in there and was like this in the hole. And I had stomped on his leash because if he got out there, he could run again into the front yard, into the really, really busy road. But he didn't have enough to get his back legs up onto the board to propel himself off. So, oh my God. But then because he did that, the other foster, Chiquito, went around the side of the thing and found that there's a hole there. So he was patching stuff up. He's got to get more wood to patch the other one because there's 5 boards on this one. I'm like, we need at least 6. So these little dogs just, it was so funny too because he was just running around in circles, just run, and we're like, oh my God, he's just running around and round and around. And then I went, oh no, oh no. He's noticing there's a gate there, because there's a gate. There's a fence with a gate. And sure enough, he went, oh my God. I hate that. It makes me nervous in my chest, you know, in my belly. Anyway, he meets dogs well. He doesn't growl. He had a little trouble with the cats. I was told he was with a place where they think the cats weren't nice to him. He's been fine with my cats. It's getting hot in here. I gotta get everyone inside. He's been great with the cats. He sleeps on his back all spread out. I'll put some pictures up on my Instagram when I put this on Friday. I'm sorry I'm not gonna bring him back in here to meet, but I can see my Fosters getting a little overheated too, so I want to get everyone into the air. And we're at 50 minutes, so I think you're just going to get a shorter episode today. And I am sorry about that, but it's so hot out here. I don't even know what is it outside. 79 degrees outside, so it's like 800 degrees in here. That is so how temperature works. You don't know. Okay. Quebec next week for June finished objects, which is, I think we're at 1 right now. I think we finished. Okay, I'm gonna have to do, I think I'm gonna do a crop top and that rib top. We're gonna have to get 2 of those done before next week. Okay, Quebec next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.